hopefully people can see that. And hopefully I can also be over on Facebook and not have feedback. We'll see how that works. So then I can go over there and see who's here. I know there's other stuff going on tonight, so I realize people might be busy watching some awesome shows on Facebook Live tonight. But I figure I'd see who was where. Hey, Abbott! I love seeing you there. Look who's doing some self-care. Hopefully you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. In the comments. And hopefully my mic's, otherwise I'm gonna have to put a different mic on. But let's see how much lag time there is here. Okay, you can hear me good. So I got some new watercolor pencils today, so I figured I'd play. And I'm also checking out a new way to do my camera so that people can see what I'm doing when I'm coloring. So yeah, I did quite a few, well, I did basically 4 therapy sessions today, so my brain was a little bit fried and I figured I needed me some color time. So I already used the watercolor pencils on this, and I'm just using my water brush to brush them in. It's kind of like the coloring books when we were kids that had the color already on it, and you could you'd just take a wet, take a brush and water and you were painting. It's similar, although you put your own color on these. And this is literally just a coloring book page, which I actually use coloring book pages in therapy with some of my clients anymore. I've got one of them, she just finished her first coloring book page today. It literally took us like 6 months worth of sessions to do. But she was so excited that she finally finished it. And we kind of talked through the fact that, like, as she was finishing it, what kind of goals she finished in therapy during that time. So, yeah, okay, happy artistic social worker moment, right? But I did some of these earlier, so like the purple stuff I did earlier. The little purple, I don't know, they look like grapes, but I know they're not. Whatever, the purple parts in the middle of the flower. I did those earlier and then let them dry so that I didn't turn them to mud. Because I'm really good at making mud in watercolor, whether it's pencil or anything else. So, yeah, what you been up to, dude? Are you still working Division of Aging? Are you still enjoying it? What are you up to? Are you doing supervision yet for a license? Are you going to? I actually talked to a couple people today about some supervision. I don't know why that's not seeming to be focused as much as I want it to be. I'm going to see if I can get my camera to focus better. So, how's the farm and your honey? I'm so glad for Facebook. I'd never be able to keep up with students or anybody. But it's even cooler to be able to do Facebook Live and have somebody come hang out with me. Oh, if you just shared that, Abbott, I really appreciate it. I love it when people share out the videos because that just gets them farther out to other people who have no idea what my other life is. So, like, my business that I'm trying to get working on is called Go Create with Stacy. It's part of my social to health business, and it has to do with helping people, teach people creative ways to use technology for good and helping encourage them to use various forms of creativity to create their future, themselves and their future. So you can see the range of possibilities there. It can go from art to tech to social work. Kind of putting my loves all together into one thing. Biopsychosocials. Oh, wow. Oh, for people who want to stay in their houses. That's cool. I bet you hear some awesome stories from some of those folks. I'm a little bit envious, actually, of that. Because you get to hear the stuff that, like, the rest of us in those generations that aren't going to be here. That much, especially if they've got any of the ones from the greatest generation, the World War II era folks, people who grew up in the Depression and all, like my grandma and whatever, the ones, they're not, I'm 48 and I still have my granny, and how many 48-year-olds can say that, right? But we're fast losing all of them. You ought to check out, there's an app, it's a show on NPR called StoryCorps. StoryCorps. Here, I'll type it in. Well, if I can get my keyboard set. StoryCorps. Anyway, it yeah, I bet it's an honor is beyond it. Anyway, the StoryCorps, they encourage people to record stories, all sorts of stories, but it's really cool when people are recording stories from their elder folks. And there's actually an app on the phone that you can get, and the app is StoryCorps, and you can, like, it gives you interview questions. Hey, Badges! The app gives you interview questions you can ask people. It's like, so you can plan the interview ahead of time. And I know you're already doing certain interviews, but this would be a cool one to recommend to, say, families, and they could use the app to record their elders' stories, and then you submit them, and it goes to, like, Library of Congress, to the StoryCorps. So it creates this living audio memorial, if you will, to the whole, all of them. Yes, Miss Lindsay, it's artsy fartsy time. I'm playing with my new pencils, watercolor pencils. And you know what? The first person that can tell me what kind of watercolor pencils I'm using gets... Maybe I'll send them this particular watercolor that I'm doing. How's that? If you know, without looking at I'm not going to show you what the pencil is, but if you know what pencils these are, because they're very special ones. They weren't Jeeps. Yeah, I can put the link in for the app too, Abbott, if you want to see it. It's really cool. I want to take it over and record my granny telling stories with it. because she tells the stories all the time anyway. I might as well record her, and then I would have it. So anyway, these, they're not Prismacolors badges. They're not the Prismas. So I'll put that color in, and then what color should I do the inside of this green flower? You guys, tell me what color I need in the center. Handheld pencils. Yes, they are. It's not an app. This is live and in person. I need to figure out what color to do the inside of that one. Because like I thought the oranges and purples turned out pretty in this one. I'm not quite sure what to do on that one. And maybe it needs another color out here in this green to make it pop. Should I do a brown? Maybe? Or... I've got some grays. I've got browns. It's a 72 color set. Bob Ross Happy Trees. They're supposed to be flowers, not tweez. You're sarcastic, but I love you that way, Abbott. Miss Lindsay Badger. Abbott's one of my students. Previous students. He was one of my awesome students in my Saturday morning cartoon class, is what we called ourselves. All right, I'll go with a pink. With pinks. We called it the Saturday morning cartoons because we had to be there at freaking dark freaking 30 to, okay, reds and pinks, okay. So we had to be there at freaking dark 30 for policy class. And these guys even, that was the semester they all bought me breakfast. They brought breakfast in on my birthday for my birthday and celebrated one year. That was so fun. And I made them use Google Hangouts. They were all terrified. They hadn't touched technology and they were just scared shitless of it. But I made them learn how to use Google Hangouts. And actually now, I miss you too. But I miss that whole bunch. You guys were a super fun class. And yes, I love you, Miss Badges. I actually get to, Abbott, I see Kanisha every 2 weeks because she's doing supervision with me. So we talk about you guys here and there. Oh, and Charity. Charity's also in supervision with me, the two of them. So that's kind of fun. So yeah, these guys, they brought me breakfast one time for my birthday. I made them play, they played, it wasn't charades, it was like, kind of like a Whose Line Is It game about policy one day. We had fun in that class. We had breakfast. Their final was, we played Cards Against Humanity at a local restaurant that has awesome breakfasts and coffee and stuff. So I made them do that for their final. Oh, and we had Cards Against Humanity and coloring books. And I actually did that again this past semester. They did coloring. We did coloring books and Andres Abbott on that Saturday. So, okay, here's the magic. Okay, I colored in the yellow, and then I colored the little... So I'm going to do the yellows. And usually watercolor is fairly muted when you put water on it. And this stuff is not. It is like super, super bright. And I can run the brush over something that's already been... Let me clean my brush off here. So I could run it over this over here, and it's not going to do anything but get it wet. So like after it's dry, well, okay, it picked up a little bit of color, but after it's dry, and it stays there. So those are your hints. Oh hell yeah, Cards Against Humanity, and yes, I forced the tack. But as a matter of fact, Abbott, you have no idea. This semester, they've had me one semester already, this group. So they had me for policy this semester, and now they're going to have me for the second semester. But this semester, I'm making them learn an app called Trello, and it's really great for group project planning and things like that. And so I'm making them learn that one, and it hooks up with Google Drive, and so yeah, I'm still making people learn new stuff. And when something new comes out, after I've tested it with people like Lindsay Badger, who's in here, who's another geek like me, when she and I've tested stuff, then I go and make the students use it. Although Badges, we haven't tested Trello. I'll have to tell you about my Trello venture this week. Girl, I think you would if you're not already using Trello, I'd be surprised, considering you, Miss Party Planner Deluxe. Oh, excuse me, I have a puppy dog telling me night-night. Don't go, boy. You gonna go bed? Okay. One of the boys coming in to tell me goodnight before he goes into his kennel. So, anyway, I have made 10 new Trello boards this week. They're, yes, Abbott, I'm pushing them out of the comfort zone. And yes, Badges, of course you're my guinea pig. Because, you'll tell me where the bugs are, like that, the ones that I miss. Trello is really good for project planning, and it hooks up with Aperion, it hooks up with Evernote, it hooks up with Google Drive, it hooks with you can share stuff to it easy. It's really cool. All the cool kids are using it. Actually, a lot of business folks over here on Facebook that I met, many that I met on a website called Blab. May it rest in peace. Anyway, a lot of them talk about using Trello as a business tool. And I'm using it for that and for teaching. And I'm going to have the students use it for their group projects, so that they can stretch out of their comfort zone. I should make them do a Facebook Live, but I think I'm still going to just have them do YouTube Live instead of Google Hangouts on the air, since YouTube Live is now basically what Hangouts was. So, yeah, I'm quite sure they're going to love me for having to do that. I have to know where all the new apps are. It's kind of a thing. Well, what I do anymore really is I have set up automatic news feeds that tell me what's all new. Not to mention listening, have my ear to the ground listening for some of the social media folks that Lindsay and I both know of, even if some of them are dweebs. Okay, I shouldn't say that on a Facebook Live. Some of them are kind of wild, but I like to find the apps that are functional for, especially, like a lot of these that are functional for social workers to learn, because social workers never are techie. And so I love teaching them how to use the apps to increase their productivity. Matter of fact, Abbott, watch for, I'm going to be doing some CEUs eventually. That's what the business is working. Kanisha and I'm actually working on one. So we're working on some CEUs to go on the website too. Oops, somebody else snuck in here and then just left. Who was that? Who snuck in and then left? Night, dude. It was good to see you. Alright, who else is snuck in here? It says there's 2 people watching, unless that's my computer watching, since I'm watching me. Yeah, of course you're not scared. Girl, you're an enigma. Don't nobody need to mess with no badges. I'm telling you, you'd love these pencils. I actually already own another set of, not these pencils, but their cousins, which are colored blocks. And I can't believe, I'm just going to have to leave that up out in the thread, that whoever puts in the thread what kind these actually are, they'll get this drawing, although I might have to fold it. They could iron it, but I might have to fold it in order to mail it. I don't know. I have to fold it once to put it in an envelope. But check out how bright that is. I don't know if you can see how bright that yellow got. I don't know why it's not focusing. I'm using my phone as an external camera, and maybe that's why. I'm trying a new camera setup because, of course, I'm always doing that too. And using my phone to broadcast this. So, hopefully it has decent sound, but since the mayor isn't in here, I see, I have no idea if it has decent sound or not. Miss Badges, we're gonna have to like hang out tomorrow in my appear while I'm doing some other work. I gotta do some charts tomorrow. I could roll it up in a tube, but shit, is that gonna cost the same amount that like just putting it flat in a like a 8.5 by 11 flat? It'd probably cost the same thing, wouldn't it? I was just trying to cut down on cost and try and put it in like something that would cost the same as a letter. I mean, I don't know that it's going to be that absolutely gorgeous. It's the first one I've done with these pencils, so. Although I might put some, might do some gel pen over the top of them, so you add some sparkly. Plus I've got like some smudgies around here. I think I might add some Zentangling around it or something. I'm not sure yet. Okay, Aberdoodles. My God, has it been like Christmas or whatever since I've talked to you? We're gonna have, yeah, because I'm probably gonna crash out shortly because I was up till like 4 this morning, because I'm crazy and I couldn't sleep. I shouldn't have been up till 4, but that's what happened. I was up till like 2 getting some work done, and then up till 4 after that because I couldn't sleep, and then I had therapy appointments to go do, so I went and did all those, and then I got some more work done this afternoon. I've been working a lot lately, but I've also been coloring a lot, so it's actually been a good balance. I just haven't socialized for shit. I need me some gravy time. That almost sounds like a bad dog food commercial, isn't it? Wasn't it the name of a dog food? Gravy time? Why could I see like Johnny Illuminati in a Gravy Time commercial? That's true. Last time, and he was supposed to do, I wonder if he got to watch you guys in PopX this weekend or not. He was planning, I think he was planning on it, but I don't know if he did. She's on nights now, and it is, oh, we could totally color together if I was, well, we could color together, except I have to get work done first. So I got to do about I got to at least get 4 to 6 hours done tomorrow of charts. And I can, like, maybe talk on, I don't know. I can either talk in between doing them, but I need to probably try and get 4 to 6 hours. So maybe while you and Abbers are at your appointment, I'll get those done so that we can chat before them or something. Or yeah, before that or after that, or I don't know. Depends on what time I get my butt out of bed, probably, right? Oh wait, I wanted purple. Where'd my purple go? Oh, thank you for saying that about the ISP. Oh, you didn't have the show? Oh, wow. That sucks. No Pop-X. I know Nick was super excited. It was funny though, because he like I'm not gonna go on there and talk to people I don't know. And then those two talked like freaking, like teenagers. They were hilarious. Morgana was even laughing at Nick from the other room and didn't tell him. Of course, here I am talking about it all on live Facebook. That's funny. Oh well. Who knows, maybe Morgana will pop in here and watch, since she's working nights and like might be able to do that later. So Wednesday night. Oh, make sure and somebody send me the link and remind me to send it to Nick, if you don't mind, so that I or sometime remind me to let him know, because I know he'll want to. We could do one of those Be Live, where you have 2 people hanging out on Facebook Live, and we could color together. We had to do the same coloring page, one of the coloring pages out of my coloring book. And like not tell each other what colors we're gonna do, and see if we do anything the same. That'd be funny. Audience participation, have people tell what colors they want us to do. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this flower off, and then I think I'm probably gonna lay down and play me some Toy Chest and some Evil Apples. You ought to play Evil Apples with us, Lens. I think I invited you. If not, and you want to play, send me a message. Or let me know, and I'll send you the link to a game. My brother's finally playing the phone version of it. Because hell, it's Cards Against Humanity on your phone. And it's like Cards Against Humanity and Words with Friends had a baby. An evil baby. And there's even better cards in it, I think, than the Words with Friends game. So, I'm playing a couple games there with them, but, like, I need other peeps to play. What other color? I like that I can messy color this and not have to worry about what, since I'm, does it wet and then the color goes everywhere. I don't have to worry about coloring in any freaking lines. And I can, like, color it faster. I also did one today with one of the kiddos where we used regular colored pencils dipped just a teeny tiny bit in Vaseline. And regular colored pencils dipped a teeny tiny bit in Vaseline, and it makes the wax in Okay. Makes the wax and the colored pencils melt, and they blend better. And all you need is a teeny, I mean, you barely tip the pencil into either baby oil or Vaseline, and they blend gorgeously. So, I probably shouldn't be filling this in quite so much because it really doesn't take a lot of this. These are going to be like super intoxicating bright. Whereas like these, I just put a little bit on and then blended the color out. You don't have to. You don't have to color it in hard like I am. You could do it like really super light and it would still pop. Which is why I like these. Although they were not easy on the budget, but I've been eyeballing them for a long time, and I decided I was getting them for my late Christmas present from me. One last, I think I'll throw some, maybe the green blue back in. And maybe just light. Just to see what difference that makes. Watercolor pen ready. Yeah, I should have just barely put a little bit in these so that they wouldn't be so bright, but I love how bright they are. So I don't want to do that. Because it like fills the whole thing in. Like, super easy. Did somebody else? Debbie Klein! Deb! Oh my god! I haven't seen you in forevers. Nope, not Order's Choice. I might tell you later, Linz. I might tell you tomorrow. Debbie Klein, what are you doing, my dear? I miss you. I'm so glad you came over to say hey. I'm just sitting here coloring, girl. I'm doing watercolor in a coloring book page. Jerry actually got me some really cool coloring blocks that he found. I remember the brand name of those. Create-A-Color, maybe. And they're like big block crayoning kind of feel. And then they spread out a lot like this too. Hey! Deb, what are you up to? How are you feeling, my girl? I actually just paid this morning our deposit for, is it May yet, baby? For the lake. Lindsay, you would love the lake. Is a group of glass beadworkers who, Deb, refresh my memory. How long have we been? 10 years, I think. Well, it's over 10 years we've been going to the lake. But Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri. And we go every year in May. And it's not May until you get to the lake. It could be May 1st, but if you're not at the lake yet, then it's not May. And we met all each other on a forum called Wet Canvas that was an artist's forum, and we were all friends on it in the glass forum. Hot glass, girls melting glass. And that's where a bunch of us met, and we had a gathering at Deb's house, actually. We invited the St. Louis crew up here to see the Kansas City crew, and ooh, that's cool. It's wiping the color off so that it's not quite so bright. I like that. Anyway, we invited the St. Louis crew up, And we all got to talking and thought we should do this more often. And we, this play day thing. And so we had another couple play dates in St. Louis, and we planned the first Missouri bead retreat. And we've had people come from, boy, 10 plus states, I think now. And you don't even have to be a glass hoe to come, and people even bring their families and stuff. Jerry and the dogs go with me, and we hang out and teach each other artsy-fartsy stuff. And there's really nothing like some of those first weekends, or the first play times we had, Deb. Nothing like it. Even MBR's not like that. Those were special. Like some of us, we don't. I mean, I still have all my glass and heavy, but like I haven't been out there in forever. But we met for the love of glass, and we come back for the love of each other. And some lifelong sisters and brothers in that group. We got a guy named Brian who makes really fun adult things with his torch. I'll have to tell you, remind me to tell you that story sometime in gravy, Lindsay. Here I am, like, getting all excited and smudging this stuff everywhere. Oh well. It's on the outside of the thing. I could cut that off, right? I think I'm going to Zentangle around the flowers anyway, a little bit. Just do like a kind of a Zentangly background that's just white, or, black and white, to kind of take away from any boo-boos. Yeah, like this halo I'm making, because I'm more excited about talking to you guys, which is fine. Anyway, you guys should come up from Okie and go to the lake with us, Linz. It's at a really cool old resort that, ooh, look at that pop. There's hardly any pencil there, but it just still pops. Anyway, Lake of the Ozarks is like a Missouri hotspot, right? Whatever. But this is like an old resort that we go to, and older. It's well taken care of, and the owners are really cool to us. I mean, hell, they let us put torches up on the deck and melt glass on their old decks, and they're condos, and so there's kitchens and stuff, and then we have communal meals, and there's a swimming pool, a couple swimming pools, and the lake itself, and we have a Chinese auction on Saturday nights that are a little bit fun, right, Deb? A little crazy. But just because it's Missouri bead retreat, we'd let some Okies in. I think we've let Okies in before. You could be like an adopted Missouri girl. It's just a really fun weekend. But so I paid the deposit for our Jerry and I get one of the cabins instead of the condos, and I paid that today so that we would save our spot. So here's my pretty drawing. I don't know what I'm going to do with the letters down here. I don't know if I'm going to watercolor them, or I might do those in gel pen. That way it matches off with the gel pen I put up on the things. And then I should take this one and turn it into a Zentangle. What do you think? I've got 2 more for tomorrow that are drying. This one I'm going to do tomorrow. I put, I'm prepping it so that it holds the watercolor even better. And then this one. And I'm prepping both. Those are both drying tonight so that I can add watercolor to them tomorrow. This one I didn't prep. I did it straight on the page. And it didn't bleed through at all. And those won't bleed through at all, but they'll be even sturdier. At least that's what I hope. So, it was great to... Oh, it was interrupted? Oh. Deb, I love seeing you. We need to do a... Maybe we should do a video call sometime, Deb, and say hey. I'm not on camera at the moment because, like, well, not that I wouldn't go on camera in my PJs, but I'm just not on camera. But sometime we should, I've got a video room that we can go hang out in where, like, we're the only ones in there and could at least see each other and say hey. So, I think I am going to go crash Miss Badges and Miss Deb. Well, I'm going to go play not Candy Crush. Whatever the hell. I can't even say the name of the damn game. I'm going to go play a couple games and look for if anybody's tagged me on Facebook. And then I think I'm going to crash out and try and get a good night's sleep. So, I will see you all laters. Bye-bye.